Miss Pat to conduct the meeting tonight in her husband's absence.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay, Ben, we got your chair at the table.
Okay.
If you will, let's stand for the pledge and prayer, please. We're gonna change up tonight. Joe, will you do the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Paul, if you would you pray for us and pray for our outgoing board and our incoming governing body, please?
Sure. Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for all of our many blessings, Lord. Watch over this meeting. Bless those who are no longer going to be serving. Bless those who are coming on the board to serve in a fashion that would be pleasing in your sight. Be with us. Forgive us for our sins and things we ask in your name. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, if you have written minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes, please. You've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right, next we need to approve the agenda. Would entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Need a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, our next item is our budget amendment. This will be our second reading. This is where we move some money around to purchase the city of backhoe. I would entertain a motion to approve this budget amendment.
Make a motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All those in favor, as a matter of fact, I think since we're spending money, let's just do a roll call vote. Madam Recorder, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Mr. Vance?
Aye.
Mr. Isbell?
Aye.
Ms. Taylor?
Yes.
And yes.
Yes. Okay, motion is approved. The next item is any outgoing discussion.
What was that? Say that again.
Outgoing discussion.
You have going.
Yeah, I will. Say that again. It's been a pleasure being able to be on the board for 12 years. And I think to be able to do it. Been a learning experience and kind of exciting at times, and, you know, things have been up and down. We've had our discussions, we've had our good times and bad times. And just want to go out with, on the good note instead of a sour note. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to serve on this board. Thank you. Thank you all for your patience.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I just want to provide, enjoy this most of the time. Since there's been times I didn't. I just say that you incoming all and mayors that to keep an open mind. Don't be afraid to object to something. Don't be afraid to table something if you disagree with it. Don't be afraid to call people that you can call to get other opinions on the subject, whatever. And vote your own conscience.
That's right.
That's all.
Anyone else? Then at this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Need a second?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, you have to be reminded how I usually do it. Well, let me just say, I was so sad when Town of Hornsby dissolved their city court, because that was my first judgeship, and I loved it, and you'll always be special in my heart, but I've gone on to bigger and better.
I have watched you in action.
No, I did not, but this will always be a special place for me. So, Pat, would you please stand up and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Patricia Plum,
I, Patricia Plum,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will honestly and faithfully,
that I will honestly and faithfully,
to the best of my skill and ability,
to the best of my skill and ability,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
for the town of Hornsby
for the town of Hornsby
and municipal corporation
and municipal incorporation
in Hardeman County, Tennessee,
in Hornsby County, Tennessee,
to which I have been elected
to which I have been elected
and which I am about to assume
and to which I am about to assume
without fear,
without fear,
favor,
favor,
or partiality.
or partiality.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is what we have to do. You have to sign here, and then I'll sign. There, please. The one thing about being judge for Hardeman County, you have to sign a lot of things. My handwriting is really going downhill. Okay, next, could the alder persons come forward?
That's all you have.
Alder persons, yes, I'm doing, aldermen and alderwomen, I'm just saying it, alder. Oh, so we have a whole list going through. Okay. Well, then, if it's all right with you, I'll just do it as a group. That's how we've done it in the past. So if you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will honestly and to the best of my skill and ability discharge the duties of alderman or alderwoman, as it applies, also alderpersons, we'll say, for the town of Hornsby, a municipal corporation in Hardeman County, Tennessee, to which I have been elected and am about to assume without fear, favor, or partiality. So help me God. Congratulations. And then I'll sign it. You all the women for good. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yes, we don't tell the other side.
That's true.
Everyone sign, all right? Somebody's chairs? All right. So let me sign this, and then we'll do more.
We are too.
Well, someone can have my chair. Yeah.
I'll put it on some.
I'll put another beside do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will truly and faithfully,
that I will truly and faithfully,
to the best of my skill and ability,
to the best of my skill and ability,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of recorder
of recorder
for the town of Hornsby,
for the town of Hornsby,
Tennessee,
Tennessee,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and for which I am about to assume.
and for which I'm about to assume.
So help me God.
So that we go.
Congratulations. Melissa was the best ever, the best ever.
We think we'll keep her.
You better keep her, that's all there is to it. You'll sign right there. And then these will go into your records. But thank you very much, everyone, for allowing me to
Thank you.
come. I enjoy it very much. Sometimes I stay for the meeting, but then I put in my 2 cents worth, and you might not want it. So, but thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so, we're ready to go back into session, and the first item on this agenda is to approve the agenda. So I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Need a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? The next item is our city attorney. Mr. Ayers, you have the floor.
Okay, few things. I know I'll talk to you about, we're potentially changing how the new board wants me to be paid. If you haven't tried to check me this month, just don't, because I didn't do much last month, so don't worry about it for this month. I have, just so everybody's on the same page, congratulations and welcome, by the way. The prior board wanted me to do a dive into exactly how much money the 911 board is getting from, the law allows them to get a certain percentage of each person's personal cell phone bill, and there's not really as much clarity as we would like in Hardin County, as opposed to places like Fayette, where they are telling everybody exactly how much money that they're getting, while they're also trying to assess us very high numbers for giving us 911 services. So if y'all want me to continue to do that, I am currently, that's my current little project. I've never done what I thought was a freedom of information request in Tennessee. It's a little bit different. I can get it for free. They allow me to go get, but what I think we need to do, just so that we and them are both on board with exactly what I'm requesting, is if y'all are okay with me racking up a little bit of a bill, 15 cents a page, for them to give me all of what I'm requesting, which will include exactly how much money they're getting from these cell phone companies. You wanted to know how many full-time and part-time employees they had. You also want to know their benefits, what they're getting. Is there anything else you want me to include in that?
I don't think so.
Because I found the Tennessee Coalition for Open Government has a form that I found that I think is kind of like a boilerplate thing that I can use to include what all we're requesting. So hopefully I'll have that done this month and have some. They have to respond promptly, is what the law says. So if they can't do it promptly, it's within 7 days. So I should have that information by next meeting next year. And then we can assess, just so y'all know what I had been doing the last year or so. I feel like the fees that I've been assessing are $125 an hour, 4 hours a month. So the city's been cutting me a check for $500 every month. I don't want to finish what all I've done and then just kind of get free $500 from my neighbors for not doing anything. So after I finish this freedom of information request, I'm going to kind of regroup with y'all and see exactly what you want me to do. If you want me to just have like a much smaller retainer fee, and then if you actually need my services, charge it X number an hour, or if you want to keep it as it is, that's fine by me. But once I finish this, I'll regroup to make sure that everybody's fully on board with what I'm quoting you guys, and that everybody feels like they're treated fair. So that should be finalized by next month. Have you updated, either one of y'all updated on the car situation with Oliver?
Well, let me ask you something before we go there. So we still have not paid that 911 fee. We have been tabling it, so we should continue to, in your opinion, table it until we get this information?
Yes, ma'am, and I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think they can cut our services off, I just don't think they're going to, that'll be a public, that'll be a nightmare for them, I think, cutting off services to Hornsby, but I've been in discussions with, I forget the lady's name, who did run it, as well as, Mayor Pulse, and I don't anticipate they would do something that drastic without giving us a warning, and we were behind on last year too, if I recall correctly, it may not have been this long, but I've got some good traction going now. What I've done today and yesterday, I think, we'll be able to have a lot more insight in how much money they're actually getting and if what they're asking for is fair or if it's true.
There's been so much confusion, and I know at the county commission it's been discussed in depth a whole lot, because I guess Middleton and Toon and Grand Junction still haven't paid either, so.
And I haven't spoken with that attorney, Mr. Meyer, for a couple of months. He was wanting to help me spearhead this, but I guess it's just gonna be us.
Okay. Thank you. Now, the car, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know I text y'all individually about what Bolivar offered us. Just so y'all also know, I've missed 2 meetings in the year or so. I've been the city attorney or the town attorney, and one of them was a meeting where the decision was made to go ahead and just buy a police car without properly vetting or getting bids or anything, which may hurt us with the comptroller at some point in the future. But the decision was made. The police department has since been disbanded, so I was tasked with reaching out to Bolivar to see if they'd be interested in buying the vehicle. They did give us an offer. They made it seem like it was capped. My idea was to maybe do a counter with the older cruiser and then potentially some of the radio. There was a radio that they weren't interested in. Maybe see if we can do a counter, but get a few more grand out of it and get rid of the useless equipment that gives us no value. What did I text you? Was it 15?
13.
13.5?
Mm-hmm.
And we bought it for
18.
I
think it's 18,495.
have to look at that one. Hang on. Let me go to another message and I can tell you.
sorry.
No, you're fine. It is 18,495. It was 18,500.
So I mean, it's y'all's decision, but I thought maybe if you wanted, does that other cruiser serve any purpose at all?
None.
It's just taking up space, if you can get anything out of it, they might bite. I think they've got, sounds like their cars a lot. So I think they've got somebody, or at least a service that they employ to refurbish wrecked cars. So I mean, they may be interested in buying a little bit of the old meteor car. Whatever y'all wanna do, I'll take it back to them.
Okay, the radio that Chris had bought was a portable radio, and Dustin, we gave it to you, right? Because we could still use that, so,
Okay.
I mean, you're using it, right?
Well, I've carried up there, is a UHF radio, and our system is not UHF, so.
Oh, so you're really not using
I
it?
can, no matter.
Okay, so we do have a radio. And then we have the new radar too, in that car. But forward, I mean, I'm asking for your discussion on this.
It's not easy. We don't need it. We need to get rid of it. It's gonna be hard to get what we pay out of it. To pay more than we should have.
There's 2 more towns interested in one time, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think Hickory Valley lost interest in it, and Curtis said he had talked to somebody, and I don't know, it wasn't the mayor, and I have no clue who he talked to at Middleton. But I know Bobby Hensley called me about it, but I think they have since pretty much changed their mind. So, I guess the only person that's still even interested is Bobby.
It's the only party I've had any discussions with, and I would say keep in mind that if we throw a wide net out there and we can find somebody who may be willing to give another, like an extra $1,000 or whatever the number may be, we still have to transport it, so.
Yeah, this
I mean-
is true.
Can it be put on the state website?
We can put it on gov deals.
Well, just, if you want me to go back to them with anything specific, just let me know now or anytime in the future, doesn't matter.
Anyway,
The longer we hold on to it, in my opinion, the less it would likely to get anything for it. Like,
I mean, somebody started it in like months.
no,
it hasn't been wrong, but it's not.
I think I cranked it last, and that was months ago.
Like our, internet, Facebook.
Well, we really, I don't think we can do that. We'd have to put it on gov deals, or we can sell to another municipality. So, what is your desire? Do we table it, or do you wanna let Ben go back with some offer?
I don't think they even go back to some offers for.
Okay, do you wanna make a motion on a cap that you'd like to,
What to, maybe get a little more out of it, lose that much, what would be.
They flat out told me they didn't want the radio, so maybe if we, I don't know, maybe else we have any utility out of it, so maybe if we offer to give that to them, like half for what we bought it for, I don't know. Do you have any idea how many miles are on the cruiser, or what year it is?
the old one, I don't.
Okay. How would I propose this? Take a month, get the specifics of what the radio costs, the radar costs, what the makes and models are, how much mileage is on that old car, if we can get the new one to crank, like specifics, and then I can go to them and say, hey, you were asking all this for 16.5 or whatever number it is, you guys decide what you want. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can we make that a motion?
yes, if you would.
Make a motion that we don't want to be able to get the specifics, go back with another amount for them.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Our next item is the ARPA funds. As you know, we have until the end of December to have any ARPA funds we have still in our bank account allotted, and we need it under contract. One of the things that we talked about last month we need is a shed for the backhoe. What we have discussed spending ARPA funds on is that shed, buying some culverts that are needed, that are gonna have to be put in. And, I guess we just need to discuss this because we either got to get out some bids and get this shed under contract, because our time is winding down very fast on these funds. I did talk to William. He had called Donnie Spence because he needs someone to come out here and measure and look at this spot out here and figure out exactly how tall and how big it needs to be for this backhoe. Right, before we can. Exactly. He said Donnie has not called him back, but he did call Guy Doris, and Guy called him back, so Guy has agreed to meet with him to measure and get some dimensions so that we can put it out for a bid. We are without a doubt going to have to, of course, put the bids out there, so we will have to have a special meeting this month and get this done to get this under contract. I know that they may not be able to build it till over next year, but we've just got to have something under contract. There are several locations that we need culverts, and of course William, with his knee replacement, hasn't been able to measure those
Yeah, we
culverts.
need some measurements, diameter and length of them, before we can just go buy them, can't we?
Yes, and I mean, we were gonna buy those and go ahead and store those, yes.
Yeah, we get the dimension, we can just call somebody up and they deliver this, or get the price on them. I think it was $5,000, wasn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So, is there anything else on ARPA that you need to discuss tonight, any other ideas? I know we're using a little of the ARPA funds. We have, with this water grant, it has taken, well, we've had several things going on. We have paid some salaries, which I was told by impasse we could do. We have paid some salaries out of ARPA funds for special projects. As for William has had to, he had to locate all the meters, and he's been working with the contractor on the meters. Those funds have come out of ARPA. Pam had to do latitude, longitude, Excel sheets, and all this extra work, again, for meters and software. We have paid some of that out of ARPA. We still have computers, we have computers to pay for. We still have to pay for our software. Because of all the change up and the grants and Pam left and there's not been anyone to do all the work in the water office, it's going to be January or February before Next Gen does their trial billing. They will not bill us until after the first of the year, after they do their trial billing. So it looks like we're not going to be able to use ARPA funds to pay for that software. QS1 had sent a bill for the full year. I talked to them and they know we're changing software. They credited all that off of our account. They were supposed to send me a quarterly bill. Did you get a quarterly bill? But you didn't get a bill for 3 months.
And they sent it to Miss Mary Ann, and she reached out to me and forwarded it to me. I got it like maybe 20 minutes ago.
So anyway, they will bill us quarterly until we can get changed over to Next Gen. It's just been a slow process because I was down here last week and QS1 is trying to remotely use the computer, Next Gen trying to remotely use the computer, and it's just slowed us down. So I know we do have some COVID funds, so I guess we can use COVID funds rather than ARPA funds, but do you know of anything specifically you want that maybe ARPA funds can go to?
And we can still use it for that, we just have to know how much to allocate for.
Well, I actually have our proposal from them that we can set that aside, but we would need a motion to set aside. I'm going to say let's set aside $5,000 for the software. If anyone would make a motion.
And that's QS1?
I mean, that's Next Gen.
Next Gen, I'm sorry.
I don't think motion said it's 5,000 for that. Next Gen.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Since we are spending money, Madam Recorder, would you do a roll call vote, please?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Joe?
Yes.
Mr. Brewer?
Yes.
Mr. Benton?
Okay, the motion passes. Our next item on the agenda is to add and remove individuals on the bank account. We had already voted in the past to take Pam off since she's not here. We have just left her on the account to the check machine in there. But we need to take Curtis off and put me on so that y'all can get checks. So, I would entertain a motion to change up the individuals on our bank account.
That motion to change individual on the bank account.
Okay, need a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion passes. Our next item is the water department. And let the nightmare begin. We have a few problems. They began a long time ago. I met with William on Sunday afternoon and again today. As you know, meters are in. There's only maybe 4 or 5 that are not in, and they were a different size meter. The contractor knew about it months ago. They didn't get them ordered, so they didn't get those meters in. Vanguard, the people who put the meters in, it's already left and gone to Texas, so they're out of here. We are having, problems with these new meters leaking, and they're leaking on the customer's side. They're not putting new gaskets, or they're failing to put gaskets. I cannot tell you how many phone calls I've had in the last 2 weeks. My new meter is leaking. And we are having to pay William and Lee to go out and fix these meters. And not only that, we have got leaks, and this water that's going through meters is on the customer, and by our water policy, we have to adjust those bills. We cannot charge those customers for a city mistake, and it's not ours, it's the contractors, but it's still the city. We have got to figure out, William and I have talked about this, how are we going to adjust those bills? Because he said when they get ready to go out and read meters, because some people are not looking at their meters, they are probably going to find more meters. When he and Raymond go out, they're going to have to not just use their iPad or whatever to do the reading. They're going to have to open those boxes and look at those meters. Because some people are probably not looking at them. We've probably got leaks we don't even know about. So we have got to figure out how we're going to adjust those bills. Do we bill on what we gave the previous month? Do we take about 3 months? Do an average of those 3 months? How does the board want to handle these adjustments? I mean, by law, we have to take it off of their bill, and how do we know how much water they've lost?
There ought to be some way to back charge the contractor.
Well, we're really gonna need to, on a lot of things, we're gonna need in.
That's where they don't have to come in.
Because they have left some of these meter boxes sitting up so high, when it rains, it gets wet, see, there's nothing to hold these boxes in place. When that mud hits, those boxes are sinking. Then the antennas,
We're gonna break the antenna off.
absolutely. They did not put dirt back around them. William's gonna have to go back and put dirt around them. Again, we're gonna be paying out of our water fund to get all this
Back
done.
charge the contractor before you pay him.
Exactly. And we've already emailed today that we needed some clarification, that we have concerns, and there's things that have to be straightened out. Because I'm not signing a check to reimburse for their services, because we've got too many things that they have done that has cost our water department. And we've got, and I'm sure we're gonna have to have Ben involved in it, without a doubt. But
The emergencies just keep coming.
that'd be pretty concerned. But, you know, the thing is, it's almost time, and here's the issue. It is really past time to read meters right now. They were requested to be read on November 1st, and they were. So it is past time for them to be read. We're gonna have more days than what our water policy says we can have on this meter reading. So everybody's bill's gonna be high because you're gonna have more days of service. So we're gonna have a lot of phone calls coming in City Hall. But until QS1 and Corey Main get everything interfaced with billing, we cannot read our meters. They have got to get this stuff to us. And they're working on it. William has talked to them today. They're working on it. It's just not ready, and we don't even have the iPads or whatever. They haven't showed us how to read the meters. We don't have the equipment to read the meters yet. So the water department is not a pleasant place to be, I'll just tell you that. But when we start doing these bills, we have got to have figured out how we're going to adjust these bills. So I need your suggestions, and we're gonna need a motion to figure out how to fix this.
You don't need a lawyer, you need a beer recorder.
I do.
Honestly, I think that's above my pay grade. I think I probably need to call MTS on that one. And this is probably one where I probably need to do like a recall, maybe a couple of 3 people.
I mean, it's, seriously, we've spent quite a bit of money out of the water account, and it's just going behind doing work that somebody's already been paid to do. I believe them have worked even on Sundays because we're getting so many phone calls about leaking meters.
I no longer have court tomorrow, so I can probably devote some time to this. Do you want to try to give me what rough figures you have at the moment?
I don't have any figures there. We really don't have any figures until meters are read. We're not gonna know how much loss everyone has had. And all we can do is just try to kind of compare to what they've been doing in the past. But we've got to, I mean, whoever comes in on this job, I feel sorry for them because they're gonna be walking into a nightmare. It's gonna be a problem. But we've got to straighten all this out and we've got to hold this contractor accountable because they have really cost us a lot of money, a lot of headaches.
Okay, we gotta start counting our beans first before I can take any
Right,
legal steps to try to recoup
right.
restitution. But my concern is how do we accurately deduce how much water is being wasted? Because you can't just say, well, you know, in November you used X amount of gallons, and then we just would guess that you would have used Y
The same
amount of
amount,
gallons. Yeah. I just don't know that's something that can be held up.
And the other side of the coin on this is we have to be accountable to the comptroller's office and T-Board for our water loss. So this is water loss that we're not, you know, we're paying for this water to Selmer and we're not getting paid back. So this is water loss that we are accountable for. And we have to report it as a loss. And I mean, you know, our percentages we have to keep down. They have cost us quite a bit.
Do you have anything that you can kind of succinctly put in an email format and send me tomorrow?
I can try to talk with Lee and see what we can find, but I mean,
We could probably tell you about how much time he spent going behind fixing leaks and stuff. I mean, contractor ought to have to pay for that.
well, I mean, we need to be paid for him, because they still gotta go back and raise some of these
They
boxes
don't have to
up
fix some boxes.
and put dirt around them with the water loss and all the meters that had to go fix that were leaking. They're brand new meters. And like you said, and there's gonna be more when they read
One
meters.
down here, they broke the water line, you had to go fix that.
Yep, that's true. So, I
It
mean,
shouldn't be on us.
no, it
Fix that,
should.
it should be contractor.
So, I mean, we can, table it until next month, I guess. I mean, I don't know what else we're gonna be able to do about it, because I don't know when we're going to read meters. That's the same thing.
We don't want to get in front of the curve here, but if we don't have any way to even estimate how much water is being lost, we're just gonna have to take it on the chin from the comptroller.
Well, I'm not so much worried about the comptroller as I am I don't want to overcharge people on their water bills because it is not their fault. You know, I just don't want somebody to get a bill that's $30 or $40 higher than normal because some contractor did some really shoddy work, because it's not their responsibility. And I don't want them to pay it, say, you know, right here at Christmas time and, you know, holidays, I don't want them paying it and us saying, well, we'll adjust it off next month. I don't think that's fair to the customers either.
So is there,
I mean,
email me, I guess, what you have, and then I'll call and ask them to see what their general way is. Because I don't even know if I'm gonna attack consultants well.
yeah, you're kind of like William and me. We've talked twice this week and we're still trying to figure it out. But, I mean, without a doubt, we have a problem. No. No.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
You're a good shot.
I mean, that's what I said, I will not sign a check until we get this resolved, because it's not right for the city to be out the money.
It might be easier if I just send them a settlement check with a letter, and
This is all you're getting.
this is what we propose is fair, otherwise we'll see in court, but, if we can take them, if we can calculate this as quickly as possible, it'll be very helpful for the future.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and like I said, we could try to tell them to get somebody back to fix all these issues, but the crew they left here, went to Texas. And if they messed up this bad to begin with, do we even want them back? We're better off with William, you know, much better off with William. So, I mean, that's just something to worry with. The other thing William wanted to know about, they sent a bunch of meter boxes. When we did this, we have roughly 110 meter boxes. I don't know, since we got this through a grant, if we can send these meter boxes back, but he wanted the board to make a decision about these meter boxes. He says we can keep them. He said it's probably not a bad idea to keep them, because if you look at the condition of how some are, you're right, people are gonna be running over them, and he's gonna be replacing boxes constantly, because they're gonna be tore all pieces with lawnmowers. But he wanted the board to make that decision. So what is the desire of the board on these meter boxes? We're guessing about 110.
One of the greatest projects in America.
Probably not. So, do someone make a motion to keep these boxes? Second? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? There's one more thing he wanted to know about, all these old meters, where Les Williams Harbor piling everything at his shop. What do you want him to do with the old meters that came out? Do you want him to just dispose of them however he can, take them to the landfill?
I think the grass cost us something. I was thinking to the scrap metal there, he wants good at it. He said it would take a lot of time to tear them down, but they'll buy them with it. Probably with that grass in them. Might not get much out of them, but then we better put them in landfill.
Okay,
They
so,
could recycle the metal.
so does someone want to make a motion on what to do with the old meters?
Make a motion to recycle.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. The next thing, I guess, in the water department is, and it's not on here, well, yeah, the water administrator it is. We need to hire someone to fill the position in the water office. And I don't know if all of you have the resumes or not. No, she's.
Got 7 resumes. Just passing them there.
And while they're doing that, just a TDEP water grant update, I pretty much updated already. We've got some problems to straighten out. And like I said, Melissa and I've already sent an email. We're trying to work on that because it has been a nightmare. When people will call in my house at 6:30 in the morning, no water people get pretty upset. It hasn't just been the gaskets. They have put new meters in and not turn meters on. Everybody's afraid to touch them. So they don't go out and turn their meter on, then they start calling real early in the morning like I have no water. Or they just barely turn them on, because one lady called and said, look, I put a washcloth under the faucet. And it took like 6 hours and it finally got wet enough I could do a sponge bath. And I mean, it's like, you just can't imagine how bad it has been. This contractor it's been sad. But we've survived. Yeah. I tell you, while they're looking over resumes, can you listen to Dustin and look over resumes at the same time? Is that gonna be hard to do. There you go.
So first off, I want to say congratulations to the new board, to the new board members and the existing board members. December 19th at 6 p.m. we will be having a dinner here. You're all welcome again, bring your families. You'll be the fire department and let William know kind of our appreciation, kind of Christmas, Thanksgiving dinner. Not many people have agreed to help cook, so it's probably won't be having hamburgers and hot dogs, so it's okay with everyone. Like I said, congratulations to all y'all. I'm gonna be asking for approval on $1,250 for some training for extrication. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's training that the state of Tennessee will come down to do for fire departments. Or if y'all have a wreck, where we make sure we're up to par and we're not doing something that could possibly harm you or us. Like I said, that's $1,250. McNair County is going to go in with us on this, so they will be reimbursing half of it after we pay it and give them an invoice.
Right.
Like I said, that's just the first of many trainings that we hope to do. I think we've already got some scheduled out all the way out to June. Fire department, stuff like that. Also, I think I've talked to you about our meeting this past where I talked about it, about the old brush truck. It's basically no use to us. Get it running, maybe upsell it, or put it on, gov.net, or you can do like, I think Secret Valley.
We just don't have a place to really put it here around City
Well,
Hall.
it was just,
Yeah, it is an idea, we,
keep some of the older equipment that first started the department. I mean, y'all can decide what y'all want to do that. But it would be nice to get it out of there. Whatever we can do with it, whatever you decide. Also, probably, I plan on starting around the first of the year. I know there's a bunch of street signs and everything else is just laying everywhere in there. We need to figure out if them are good, old. Yeah, I mean, that way I'm kind of a neat freak and it's drove me nuts with the bays and everything being out there all cluttered. So now that I'm out of paramedic school, try to start on that first of the year, getting my bays out there cleaned up.
can we, do something about getting those tires on that first truck?
Yes, ma'am. Maybe at the holidays, but,
Yeah,
we will try to do something about that.
but is that truck running, will it run?
I believe all it needs is the carburetor work on. I believe. Now, I'm not 100%. As you know, I came to this blind of lots of stuff. We have also just recently applied for the State Fire Marshal's grant. It is a totally free, it doesn't cost city anything. So, just Melissa. Melissa, I'll be looking because once they will approve them in spring, and then we'll send something here, and then of course we got to sign a bunch of stuff for a contract. Hopefully that'll be the start of getting new turnout packs, or new turnouts, new air packs, stuff that we kind of really need to do our job. Other than the dinner, like I said, I'm just asking for the approval to do the training, that the state come down, do that for us.
And by the way, you might want to tell the board about your new volunteer fireman I met, I guess, was it last week? The fire investigator or?
Oh, yes, Chris Shipley. It just kind of helps out with our ISO ratings for your insurance, stuff like that. He's a state fire investigator, so we structure fires, any fires, he can come out and investigate. It just, like I said, it helps y'all out for insurance purposes and stuff like that. So any fire we get, or you have a fire and you need something for insurance, just give me a call and we can get him out there to come to get it.
And you are going to be in both the Bolivar and Middleton Christmas parades, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what Dustin really needs from us tonight is approval to spend his $1,250. I know I met with your fire investigator the other night, and they were talking about this, that it is, something that we're gonna go in-house, the McNairy County on. But one town has to pay the full amount. So I just really need right now a motion that we go ahead and approve Dustin spending $1,250 out of the fire department's funds for this training class. And we will get reimbursed for half of it.
I make a motion to approve it.
Need a second? Got a motion and a second. Since we are spending money, Melissa, would you please ask for a roll call vote?
Yes.
Ms. Martin? Mr. Bird? Mr. Davis? Ms. Carson?
Okay, motion passes. I did skip street department since we don't have anyone over streets right now. I know there's stuff we need to get done, especially this hole over here at Church and Main. I hit it the other day. I hate that hole. William did tell me today, we were talking, he said, of course, he's not streets, but until we can kind of get things lined out, he will help us.
Patching stuff over here.
We don't have any, we'll have, yeah, we're out, he's used all he bought, so we need to buy some, and he said he would try to help
Is
us
he
out.
over there or somebody else at the
Well, the last we bought, William, I think, actually paid for it, or he bought it, yeah. So,
We get the Florida money.
is that where it came from? Oh,
Either them or is it GNC?
it's
Supply?
GNC Supplies, where
They got the asphalt from
okay. So, yeah, so we just need to tell William to go ahead and get some.
He'll do it in the street department.
Yeah. So we'll do
I
that.
can put it down. And you can hear it, but
All right, so
I did good with it.
that hole is horrible, but it is. Some of these resumes that we have, and before it used to be called water clerk, and then it got changed to water administrator, and I think people get real confused and they think administrator is a big-time job. And there's people who actually applied who have like a full-time job at Toyota in Blue Springs. They're not coming to Hornsby part-time to do water department when they're working at Toyota. And there's a,
You're making, their full-time job, they're making $25 an hour,
yeah,
so why you're part-time for Toyota,
even though it said part-time people, I mean, I guess they just think because it's administrator, it's a big-time job. There's, I think Joe has looked over these a lot. She can probably tell you about the resumes and make some suggestions.
Do we have the ability to run background checks?
No, I didn't get that.
Just maybe help with that.
I had talked to some, I know there.
Talk to several, yeah.
Several of them, she's talked to, like, some of them, employers. And I know, like, one of them said the girl volunteered to take on this job and do this and that, and never completed the jobs. And we were told if we wanted somebody that was lazy to do the job, she was the one to hire. So to me, that's not a good reference, and I don't think that's who we want. That was the Pierce, from Donna Pierce. Now, I don't know much about the Pulse girl. The other thing is she's basically self-employed, doing house cleaning, and from reading it, it looks like to me she does her own bookkeeping. It's not like it don't appear to be an outside bookkeeping job. The Torrance Ross, I've looked at them so much I may get them confused. Let's see, which one was it?
I think it's a massage place. right?
Yes, yeah, and it sounds like a guy's name, but I looked him up on Facebook, and it looks like a girl. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to determine from the picture whether it's really worked, this is a massage, she works massage, and I'm not seeing a lot of computer skills, which she's got the Microsoft Word and Excel and stuff on here, but she doesn't really have a lot that she's done with those skills. And then the Yolanda Wilhite, this is the one that works.
She works at Core
She
Civic.
works at Core Civic, and she's the one that's got a job 40 hours a week, getting $25 an hour. And a lot of hers, she has computer applications, but then there's just not a lot that applies to our position.
And she was really wanting, part-time to supplement her income, and so being full-time at Core Civic, she would not be here during the day. So that means deposits and stuff couldn't get done, because by the time she'd be here, the banks would be closed.
And you've got to have somebody that can have some daytime hours. And Roger Clifton, I don't know much about him at all. He's the one that works at Toyota, Blue Springs.
Let me say this, Core Civic is so desperate, because I mean, those guards get fired out there just as quickly as they get hired for bringing narcotics and stuff in. So I mean, you hear them advertising all the time, they're desperate. So they may be willing to work with her and put her on a different shift if she's currently on the day.
Well, she's actually even working another part-time job already in Memphis, doing some kind of teaching. So she's already got one part-time job in the full-time at Core
She's got
Civic.
full-time, part-time is her schedule, and she's a counselor assistant. That was it was a teaching job that she does as her part-time. But it looks like she's pretty overloaded already, from what I could tell. So, that one just didn't really, Roger Clifton, like I said, I don't really know much about him, and it's, he's another one that's got a full-time job and couldn't probably work our day hours that we are expecting. The Antonio Hudson lives in Jackson, Tennessee, and everything on his resume is mostly food preparation. He's done some forklift operating, machine operator. He doesn't list any kind of computer skills. He's done some lab work, like as far as plasma box services. I just don't see a lot there on his. Then we have the Hartwick, Jana Hartwick.
We did have Pam Irvin, let me tell you, and I talked to her, and with Billy's health issues, she just didn't think that she needed to be trying to take on anything else right now.
The Janet Hartwick has been a resident of Hornsby for 18 years. Her job skills basically is she's worked at Penner's Farm and Garden in Whiteville, and she's worked at Green Frog Cafe, Coffee and Grill in Middleton until October of this year. From this, it's pretty evident she just graduated from high school this past May. She's very young, but I think you talked to her mother, right? And her schedule is pretty flexible, but she just doesn't really have, she doesn't list any computer skills.
I talked to her Sunday afternoon.
So that's about what we got right now.
Jana said that I asked them, because we do have to do a lot of Excel spreadsheets and different reports, and I asked her, could she run those, and she assured me she could. So, what is the desire of the board?
Who's they gonna be working on these floors?
As a person board,
Y'all looked over the stuff, y'all learned, y'all learned the 22.
right now, under the old administration, Pat and I were over, as all of them were over the water department. So it depends on who is gonna be over the water.
I'm gonna throw it out there and let y'all fight over it.
No,
I'm gonna make it real easy.
my opinion, whatever y'all
That's
think.
what I wanted to show.
My opinion is, we really don't know enough about any of these at the present time. If we're gonna have a call meeting for the building, I would say table voting on this and hopefully bring 2 or 3 of them in to personally talk to them, is what I think we should do. But it's up to the rest of y'all.
That
That's just
was-
my opinion.
Yeah, that was my suggestion, but it's entirely up to the board. I mean,
And some of them, they may not realize,
They're gonna have to have computer skills regardless.
and some of them, once they find out more about the job, may not want to do it. Because I guess, like, 12, and I agree, $12 an hour is not a lot of money. I wouldn't do that job for $12 an hour. It's a headache. But, right now, we can't afford more. Maybe someday we can give them an increase in their salary. And then, starting off, we're probably gonna have to have them work more hours than the 42 that we do a month, because it's gonna take some time to train them, for them to learn the system and learn the customers. So we'll have to be a little bit flexible on how long they'll work.
it is very, very rarely that anyone comes in here to the water office and they're pleasant. There was actually someone put their payment in today, and on the outside of the envelope said, "Merry Christmas to all of y'all," and I thought, good grief, this is so nice. You know, I mean, but it's a hard job for $12 an hour.
I was down there last week and gave you a call, I had the phone and and most of the ones I talked to last week were very nice. I didn't have hardly any problems. I know a couple said, my bill's just way too high. And, you know, I looked at it and tried to assure you that, you know, what was going on, but for the most part, most people are nice. But you do get a few that kind of, you know, mad at you because their bill's so high. But, you know, our bills are high too. So, I just really think we need to table it till we have our call meeting.
Make a motion, table it, and call me.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion passes, we will table it and we will take up the resumes then. At this time, there's public discussion, but before we do that, I want to say congratulations to all of you. You have just gone right into the little frying pan. No, seriously, it is and Jennifer can tell you this, and Russell can tell you this, anytime you get elected to something, you're very unappreciated, don't matter how hard you work, people are gonna get upset. There's gonna be times we're gonna have a difference of opinion, and I hope we don't let that cause conflict between us, because as long as we're going in a bunch of different directions, nothing gets accomplished. And it only hurts the citizens in this town, and not just in this town, but those citizens outside this town that's on our water system. And we have got to pull ourselves and go in one direction and let our differences not divide us. So, you know, that's all I've got to say. We've just got to find a way to work together and accomplish stuff. We're way behind on so much stuff. The fire department, the water department, just in general, there's a lot that needs to be done. And, you know, I just hope all of you just let all of our employees, because honestly, this town offers very little to our employees. Melissa and I was talking about, it's not unusual to get called and have to just stop what you're doing and come down here. Just let them know that they're appreciated, because I don't think we probably tell any of them enough that we appreciate all they do. William's 2 weeks out from knee replacement surgery, and he's out fixing leaks from a contractor not putting meters in right. So, you know, and he doesn't have to do that. I mean, he does it because he knows we can't afford the water loss. So when you see him, just let him know how much you appreciate him. But Floor is open for the public.
I got something
Okay,
in the public again.
all right,
Is the board allowed to go to a job placement firm to get application, resume?
I don't know, Wayne, I've never, you know,
Is there anything that keeps you from doing it?
I
Any
don't
charter? Or any policy?
I don't, not that I know of, but I would check with MTS, with Rick Whitehead.
And your job description hadn't changed since the last time you had a request for resume?
No.
Hours and that hadn't changed? Okay. One other thing, about 2 months ago, I had a renter move out. And I went down and turned the water off, like that. Zero. No, just turned it off, no water going. And then I got a monthly bill. No water usage. The $34, first $34. Then I got sales tax on that. Is that legal?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Ben, is that legal?
Isn't that what we agreed to?
Well, no, it's Tennessee Department of Revenue, because I got a letter from our auditor saying that that's not a meter fee, that's a minimum rate fee, that's a base monthly rate.
Well, I was looking
And
at
because
that,
it
that's
is,
$20.
it's taxable.
The guy that came down here and gave me big spiel and put up the screen and told us we were gonna have to pay out the run for the water, said that you're gonna pay for this meter anyway. It's you paying just to have it. So if that's true, I don't wanna pay taxes on just to have a meter. If I use water, I'm glad to pay something. That's about the water. I don't mind paying $34, the state tells us to pay $34, but I don't think I'll pay taxes on the meter if I'm not using any water effectively. And that happened 2 months before. It didn't used to happen before it was right. It was what? $15 or something
For,
for water, and then $2,000 free it used to be.
it used to be.
Yeah. What was we paying sales tax on that first amount then?
We've always, yeah, you would pay sales tax.
That doesn't sound right either.
But this is, according to our water rate policy, the water rate study in what was passed at the recommendation of the comptroller's office. This is a base monthly rate, so it's not a meter fee, it is your base water rate fee, and it is taxable, and there was a letter, I had it last month, the Tennessee Department of Revenue said you taxed it, and the auditor sent it to us, so it is.
I think it's gonna be challenged. I don't know who's gonna challenge it, but I think it's gonna be challenged. Anyway, next thing I got. Driving up Park Street the other day, going home. What time it was, it's daytime. This big thing up here on the left, across the lane. As I was going up through there, here comes a load of feed out, turning in, and he spilled feed all over the hood of my damn truck. And besides that, scattered it all the way down the street, and he's done that a number of times.
Maybe they're not.
Yeah, I know. Now, what can we do about that?
Nothing.
Have you got anything in policy that covers that, and that you can cite them for?
The birds that they see, the fish.
I guess when the demand letter or cease and desist or something.
Looks like you don't have a truck. But I've noticed when they turn in about Chapel, sometimes it be some speed. I went up the highway, it seems like you're on
When
the
they
top
fill
of it,
them,
so I don't
some
know
of
if
that
they,
feed gets on top, and when they take off, it just flows.
I don't know if they overfill
I
them.
know.
Them birds love that, that's their feeder.
Yeah,
Down the
birds
road.
eat it all the time, the farmers. They do.
And one other thing I'll move. The other day, I was coming in from the east end on Main Street, coming down to here and turn off, and as I rounded that curve, here comes a county garbage pickup truck with the empty on it, empty container on it, and he cut across not down the road, he cut across the damn field to get out of there.
What?
He cut
Went
across
across
the
the
field.
tracks?
Across the grass. I mean, 50 yards in for it, he's gonna get there quick, I reckon. I don't think they ought to do that.
Russell?
Don't look at me, I'm not a contractor. We have a lot of police officers.
Have you got a policy that you cite somebody on that?
Yeah.
We don't have a street policy, so
Huh?
we ain't got a street
What
policy.
happened?
We'll have to.
I told you what you do. The only reason you want me to do it, cause you gonna have that out of me. That was.
Me?
Yeah, you. I believe that, but I
Oh, Wayne.
died. Yeah, old Wayne. I'll get him.
Yes, sir.
On there, just thinking about trying to figure out a way on the water loss. Did I understand you say that you can contact the comptroller's office, see if they have any suggestions or any ruling on it?
Well,
What's coming out?
I did talk to Steve White, you know, with MTAS. You know, what I hate is we won't even know what we got until they read meters.
I understand that, the point is, you're looking for a solution.
Solution.
All right, if they don't have any suggestions or rulings before you do it, y'all trying to talk about a time frame. Looks to me like the old fairway, which would be more work on y'all. The old fairway would be back at 3 months.
That's what William and I thought, you know, go back, I mean,
Do it an average.
yeah, this is what we were talking about, an average of 3 months, but, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of work, and it's gonna be a lot of unnecessary work, but we just can't stick this on our customers, absolutely not. I will say there's one other thing for the board, you're gonna love me for this one. This is one of the most important things you're gonna do while you're here, utility training. And, this tells you how you have to do it. When I say it's important, you'll have to do it again, Joe, and I'll have to do it again. They keep up with this, the Tennessee Board of Utility Regulations. If you do not do this utility training, you will get subpoenaed to come to Nashville to stand before the board. And if you still don't do it, you will be in front of the Chancery Court in Davidson County. And if you keep on not obeying their order, they will have you ousted as an alderman after they stop you from getting paid. So when I say it is very important, it's very important. And not only will they subpoena you to Nashville, they'll subpoena the whole table full of us to Nashville. And then somebody's gonna be really mad at you. Yeah, me too. But I talked to Steve White today because when I printed these out, I actually went to the site and was gonna look at it, and it kept saying page not found. So I called Steve White and said, you know, do you not have to do utility training anymore? And he said, well, yeah, it's very, very important. And he thinks it's more important now because the reason you can't load this right now is because he's just been to Nashville and recorded new training. And he's taught part of this, so he thinks it's really important. So he said they just probably with the holidays have not got the system back online, so you might give it about a week to let them get it, because it is gonna be new training from what we did before. And Steve will be doing part of it, but I can't stress enough, they are very, very strict about this utility training. And there's extra training that you can get that's free on MTAS. They encourage you to take all the utility training you can. I take every class I can. It just helps us. The water department, I will say this, you know, we put a little bit of a fire out, but all we've done is use a water hose when we really needed a fire hose for what's going on. The comptroller's office, has given us about 3 years to try to get everything straightened back out. And we're gonna have to all pitch in and work really hard. It is not a one-person job or a two-person job. It's just overwhelming, the amount of work. Right now, we have due next Monday, the lead copper inventory, the TDEC, which is very important. There's just so many things going on. And at some point in time, I'm sure we're gonna end up having to get rid of the water system because it is the comptroller's office feeling that 1,500 customers is kind of where they think you have to be to have a water system. In our feasibility study has said, you know, what we need to do is work with this grant and anything else we can do and bring our water system up so that if we're ever told we have to get rid of it, somebody will want us. Right now, Selmer doesn't want us and we don't have a connection to Bolivar and it's $2 million to connect us there. So we've got a lot of work to do because at some point in time, without a doubt, we're gonna be trying to get somebody to take us. And right now, if we had to go with someone, it would be just a management service. And, you know, they can do whatever they want to with us. If we think our rates are high now, they're probably nothing compared to what they could be. So, we've all got to pitch in and work hard to get this going. Any other public discussion?
Yes, well, this, ARPA money, can it be used for air conditioner and heating?
It can.
That might be something you wanna talk about and get fixed, if you can use that money. If you had it left over, and not go through the problems we had last summer.
It was miserable in here last summer.
So, you might wanna talk about it.
And yeah, every summer it is unbearable. I guess election was it. So when we have our special meeting, we will talk about ARPA funds and,
Water administrator.
yeah, but we need to get with William and Guy and get those dimensions. So let's look at do this. So y'all are gonna be down here the 19th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The 20th, people? I hate to do it the week of Christmas. I mean, it's not gonna give us time to get contracts done. And 20th is gonna be really pushing it. I mean, it's really gonna be pushing it. I know, but we can't even do anything with posting it for bids until we get some dimensions. And we've got to have that this week. So we're probably gonna need you to do that. The 17th is Sunday school Christmas party at church, and so Wednesday night, Melissa will be at church.
The last one is the 11th.
Oh, so we could do a Wednesday night? So is Wednesday night, 18th, good for everybody? So you wanna say for Wednesday at 6 o'clock? Can you do Wednesday night? Okay, so we'll do a special meeting at 6 o'clock on Wednesday night, the 18th of December, and finish up the ARPA, water administrator, clerk, whatever you wanna call it, and, we might go ahead and, depending on what bids we get, it's gonna be really hard to get air conditioning bids in though, heat and air bids in, because we don't know what the shed's gonna be. Although we could post for bids and we could still not take any action on it, we could just get the bids. And if we have the money, then we do it. What do you think about that? Yeah. So do we need to make a that we go ahead and post for bids for the air conditioning and heating too.
We only have, what, 30?
Mm-hmm,
Oh, we have.
yeah, I know. It's probably not gonna be enough money.
Oh, so I mean, I'm thinking probably between 5 and 10 before, right?
Russell, I don't know, what basically do you think the culvert cost will be?
I mean, the size is the foundation.
You know, there's two down on Parker Street somewhere.
First thing, all the culverts have been put in the last 2 or 4 years, have been too short, that's the first thing, you'll have to think about.
What's the normal, about 24, don't they come like 24 foot?
You get 20, 24, 30, or you can take pieces and add them together, you can do multiple things. But a culvert I found is not much use putting anything in less than 30 feet. That's where we wound up with these holes at the end of asphalt in these streets, because culverts are too short, you don't have any shoulder. And the rest of it would be, the bigger they are, higher the price gets quick. 18-inch, a lot of these are 18 inches, I don't know whether they're carrying water that well or not, I reckon they are, you don't see much street for them. So you may get about 18 on a whole lot of it. And your main ditch is like on Parker Street up there, of course, it takes a bigger culvert than that.
Right.
You've got, if I remember right, and you've got another possible problem I saw today. You got one that may got filled up with concrete today. I didn't get off and look. But anyway, there, just inside the Hopefield house, Darryl, you remember, there are 2 culverts there to the one? Is that not right? Should be, you've got things like that that can be corrected. So you just won't have to get somebody over your streets, take a hold, and get this figured out, what you gotta do. I mean, seriously.
I
If you don't
know.
have one person with it on his mind, with black and white, sit out here at the paper and tell you what he's found, and you speak to his wall.
You're right. I mean, the streets need a lot done to them, seriously, they really do. So we will just go, with the meeting to do the shed and software and job administrator, so. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. All those in favor?